Those things just happen. You fall in love, and not just falling in love. The best thing is love grows. Because I feel I love her more now than ever I have, and it just keeps growing. I think you've got to give it your all, just the same, because I'm sure there was times when she felt like dropping me. And I always told her, I'm never leaving, right? So, but there's times when she said to me, I'm leaving you. But she never did.
I am now at the moment in a relationship with a girl from this community, well, Brookfield, a neighboring community. And we weren't always together, but we did always kind of know each other. So that was interesting. And later in life, I did realize, even recently, that was important to me. Being in relationships with people that weren't from my community, it did make it a little harder. Funny enough, besides being in a great relationship with a great woman, a definite perk is that we can go to the same hometown at Christmas, and we know a lot of the same people, and we knew each other before we even got involved in a relationship with each other. So I think in the long run, it's made our relationship stronger.
You begin to picture it all and realize what's important, what's most important, and family is the most important thing. And some people probably too late before they realize that,
And for a while, I had two grandmothers with me, which was, when it came to some of the cooking and the cleaning and not only that, they were great to us, They were fun and they loved us. When Mom and Dad would work, especially in the summers, being a lot of seasonal work, it was nice having them around. They were always full of great stories about the past.
My grandmother had a really big influence on my life because with my mom working, she kind of became a mother to me. So I guess I could say I had two moms, a mother and a grandmother. So I learned a lot. I made bread when I was 12 and did all the family things.
For me, for the longest time, it was just, I thought that's what life was like. A lot of people I grew up around had their grandparents in their house with them. I guess I never really thought about it before either, that it was such a big deal.
Living here was always something I wanted to do. It was never a question of leaving and determining where I would go after I finished high school. So when I was in high school, I kind of geared myself towards a profession that I could come back. I always wanted to be here, and I never really thought that I was being disadvantaged by being in a small community. I kind of looked at the positive outlook and looked at the benefits of being here in a smaller community and a close society with good family and friends. I just wanted to stay because I just had a calling for this area. It was something that I just feel very at peace. It's a very tranquil environment. I live 2 minutes from my work. There's no commuting back and forth. I have time, I have family time, and it's just a very peaceful environment.
Yeah, it is a big deal. That's a rare thing to find. So many people of the same descent all still living in close proximity to each other. I mean, that's not something that you come across so much these days, especially with urbanization, I guess, people living in cities and whatever city. Even if your family lives in a city, there's a chance that you still live fairly far away from each other, but not here.
We all played together as children, and I can never remember one child having any more than the other. We were kind of equal. We didn't have this society where some children had much more and some children had less. We were kind of on par. Being in this area for so long, I can't really imagine leaving. I think if I had to leave, it would have to be something really devastating, work-related. If I had to go, I guess I would, but it would be the last thing that I would want to do. And with age and retirement, I can see myself traveling because I love to travel, but ultimately I think I definitely would be returning back here.
I don't see them leaving. They all feel that way, It'd have to be, something very drastic, like the whole community would have to shut down.
My husband worked away a couple of times. He went to Alberta just to try and see what it would be like, and he was happy to come back. Basically, now we're mortgage-free because we built in this area. The land didn't cost us as much, and my husband built the home in about a year. So we're really lucky to be, in our 30s and mortgage-free because, you don't see that very much.
Our family, the girls, the grandchildren, the nephews, niece, all those, they all like it here. They'd rather be with her too in Badgerski. And we're happy. We have a contentment, a peace of mind about where we're at. We have an anniversary tomorrow, and that will be 38 years that we've been married. 38 good years, I must say. Really good. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I've been away for so long and I'm feeling like ice on the water I miss. And the eyes are like flies, this scene I despise. I longs for the times when I'm one of the boys. I've been awake for so long and left feeling weary and tired of the flashing lights, 'cause the eyes are like flies, the scene I despise. I longs for the times when I'm one of the boys, and I dream of a team of us leaving and not looking back, just staying where we were born. And I dream of a team of us leaving and not looking back, just staying home. Well, I've been away for so long and left feeling lonely amidst all the faceless crowds. The eyes are like flies, this scene I despise. I longs for the times when I'm one of the boys. I longs for the times when I'm one of the boys. Not bad.
Good.
I chose entertainment, and that limited the amount of time that I could spend around here. But oddly enough, I did get a job around here as an actor, and it's done me very well. And it was nice to be able to be in this community longer, because I think from being in this community longer, it made me gain a bigger appreciation for everything that this community has to offer, which is its surroundings and its people and my family. And I dream of a team of us leaving and not looking back, just staying home. Well, I've been away for so long and I'm feeling lonely amidst all the faceless crowds, 'cause the eyes are like I didn't feel isolated until I left. Until I left and went away and seen, I guess, a bit of a bigger world. I never felt isolated because there were more of us, and there was always enough of us to not feel enclosed or like we were. It always felt like the middle of nowhere, but I guess as long as you had a friend around that, you played music, created, and maybe even the fantasy of leaving and going somewhere else was something that got us through it a lot of the times too. Because unfortunately for me, when I grew up as a teenager, I got into music and entertaining, and that made me go a different direction. And that's not skidooing and ice fishing and great things that you can do around here. Well, I've been away for so long and I'm feeling lonely amidst all the faceless crowds, 'cause the eyes are like flies, the scene I despise. But I sometimes wonder if the cod moratorium didn't happen and my dad didn't sell his license, and would have I just become a fisherman? Possibly, and maybe have been happier than what I am now. Just down the road from my house is my cousin Terry's. Terry was my Uncle Jack and Aunt Florence's oldest son, And he married and raised 2 children here. Here's my cousin Mona's house. Mona's my Uncle Nat's oldest daughter. She married a guy from Badger's Key, Dwayne Welcher, and they've raised 3 children here. This is the last house on the way out of town. This is my Uncle Eli's house. He lived here with his wife Myrtle and their children. This house was floated over from Safe Harbor over 50 years ago. So I never really thought about my future here. I more so think about the future of the community rather than my future. If the community's here, I'll be here. I will come back. Why would I? I'll come back as many Christmases as I can. If it becomes too expensive or you know, there's nobody here, which is not going to happen, anytime soon, I don't believe. I think maybe more the concern of, I wonder if my children will come back here. That's more of a concern of whether than I will. And I assume if I'm going to say I'm going to come back, then my children are. So maybe it's more so of concern of my children's children. Will they ever see this place? And hopefully so. Well, I've been away for so long, and I'm feeling lonely amidst all the faceless crowds, 'cause the eyes are like flies, this scene I despise. I long for the times when I'm one of the boys.